The U.S. Navy has decided to scrap the amphibious assault ship USS Bonham Richard, LHD-6. Viewers may note that on July 12th, fire erupted in USS Bonham Richard. The flames began in the lower vehicle storage area, but ravaged the island, the mast, and the flight deck as it burned its way through the inside of the big deck. Though the ship remained watertight throughout, about 60% of the ship was ruined in 3 days it took the firefighters to douse the flames. Rear Admiral Eric Verhaage, the commander of Navy Regional Maintenance Center and the director of Surface Ship Maintenance and Modernization, told reporters in a phone call, "After thorough consideration, the Secretary of the Navy and the Chief of Naval Operations have decided to decommission the Bonham Richard due to the extensive damage sustained during that July fire. In the weeks and months since that fire, the Navy conducted a comprehensive material assessment to determine the best path forward for that ship and our Navy." In this video, Defense Updates analyzes why USS Bonham Richard, LHD-6, is being scrapped. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by War Thunder, the most comprehensive military vehicle online game for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, in which you can go to battle on more than 1,200 playable aircraft, tanks, helicopters, and ships from the 1930s to the 1990s. The game has an amazing attention to detail and focuses on a realistic combat experience, which is why knowing your vehicles and skill really makes a difference. It's easy to get into, and all you need to play is nothing more but your mouse and keyboard or controller. Immerse yourself in cross-platform combat with more than 20 million other military vehicle enthusiasts from all over the world. Download and play War Thunder for free using the link in the description below, and also get a free bonus tank, aircraft, or ship, and 3 days of premium account. As reported, 3 main options were considered. 1. Rebuild and restore the ship to its original function of moving Marines and their gear around for amphibious warfare. 2. Rebuild the ship to a new configuration for a new mission, like a hospital ship. 3. Decommission and scrap the ship. Verhaage said restoring Bonham Richard to its original form would have cost between $2.5 billion and $3.2 billion and take 5 to 7 years. Rebuilding the ship for a new purpose would have cost in excess of $1 billion and also taken about 5 to 7 years. Though cheaper than rebuilding to the original configuration, Verhaage said it would be cheaper to just design and build a new tender or hospital ship from scratch. Decommissioning the ship and the inactivation, harvesting of parts, towing, and scrapping the hull will cost about $30 million and take just 9 to 12 months. He stated, "Examining those 3 courses of action, we reached the conclusion that we needed to decommission the platform." Verhaage said the comprehensive assessments looked at what would happen to the industrial base and new ship construction for the fleet if the Navy opted to rebuild Bonham Richard, and the price, not in dollars but in the burden on the industrial base, was too great to justify. Though the inactivation can't start since the fire investigations are ongoing, the Bonham Richard is already being prepared for towing, and harvesting of some systems has been happening since September and will continue. Once the investigations end, larger systems would be taken out to be reused by other ships in the fleet, and the Bonham Richard will be towed for scrapping. Four investigations are taking place in parallel. A Naval Criminal Investigative Service (NCIS) criminal investigation, which now includes the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives (ATF), a command investigation led by Vice Admiral Scott Kahn, the commander of U.S. Third Fleet, a Naval Sea Systems Command Failure Review Board, which will look at safety, structural, and design issues related to the ship and how changes could be made to prevent a fire from moving through the hull the way it did on Bonham Richard, and a NAVSEA Safety Investigation Board to examine the events that took place on the ship leading up to the fire compared to existing policies and procedures. The comprehensive investigations are likely to determine the root cause and circumstances that led to the unfortunate incident. Bonham Richard was nearing the end of a maintenance period when the fire broke out, and among the work that had been done to the ship was a modernization of computer and other systems to support F-35B Joint Strike Fighter operations. The U.S. Navy spent about $250 million for an 18-month availability to upgrade Bonham Richard to support the F-35Bs. Verhaage said that the work was clearly a loss for the Navy and Marine Corps. The U.S. Navy will now be down an amphibious assault ship and one that had been recently upgraded to accommodate the F-35B Joint Strike Fighter. This will certainly have an adverse effect on the operational capabilities. Verhaage indicated that the current America-class LHAs cost about $4.1 billion apiece, and that Ingalls Shipbuilding has a hot production line, indicating that the U.S. Navy is in a good place for LHA construction for now. It remains to be seen how the investigations and proposal for a new replacement vessel pan out in the coming days. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.